You are living a script written by people you don't even like. Every day, you put on a mask. You measure your words to avoid cancellation. You curate your life to fit into a mold that was designed to keep you quiet, predictable, and profitable. You are so afraid of being judged by the crowd that you have become a ghost in your own life, hiding your truth to earn the permission of people who don't even know who they are. This modern social conformity is a prison with invisible bars. You feel the itch of the fake smile. You feel the weight of the empty word. You are performing for an audience that is too busy performing for you to even notice. But 2,400 years ago, there was a man who burned the script. Diogenes of Sinope didn't want your respect, your money, or your status. He lived in a ceramic barrel in the marketplace of Athens, owned nothing but a cloak and a staff, and famously told Alexander the Great, the most powerful man on earth, to get out of his sunlight. He was a cynic, a word derived from the Greek for dog-like, because he lived with the raw, honest simplicity of an animal in accord with nature. He was the original heretic. He didn't just ignore the fake values of society, he mocked them. He showed that when you stop looking for permission to exist, you find a strength that no king can take away. As the way of the Cynic teaches, most people are living a script written by someone they don't even like. Diogenes lived in a barrel and told kings to get out of his sunlight. Be a heretic to a culture that rewards fake smiles and empty words. Strength is found when you stop looking for permission to exist. If your truth offends the weak, let them be offended. Your life is not a performance for the crowd. If you are tired of the performance, if you are bored of the correct opinions, and if you are ready to reclaim your raw humanity, welcome. You aren't socially awkward. You are socially awakened. Welcome back to Hypothetics. Today, we break the mold. This is Rebel Heretics, the 20 quotes of Rebel Heretics. Quote 1. I am a citizen of the world. Diogenes. We are conditioned to find our identity in tribes, nationalities, political parties, and social cliques. These are just smaller cages designed to keep your loyalty local and your mind small. The cynic rejects the borders of the mind. By belonging to everything, you belong to nothing and no one. True freedom is the refusal to let a flag or a label define your worth. Quote 2. He has the most who is most content with the least. Diogenes. The system keeps you in line by making you dependent on comforts. If you need the latest tech, the designer clothes, or the expensive house, you are easy to control. A man who can be happy with a bowl of water and a piece of bread is a threat to every tyrant. When you subtract your needs, you add to your power. Contentment is the ultimate weapon of the rebel. Quote 3. Of what use is a philosopher who doesn't hurt anybody's feelings? Diogenes' truth is not polite. In a culture built on lies, the truth will always feel like an attack. If you are terrified of offending people, you will never say anything worth hearing. The cynic uses offense as a tool to crack the masks of the people around him. If your honesty hurts someone's feelings, it's usually because their feelings were built on a lie. Quote 4. I am looking for a man. Diogenes famously walked through Athens with a lamp in broad daylight, looking for an honest man. He found only crowds of performers. Modern life is a sea of characters, but very few humans. To be a man, in the cynic sense, is to be authentic, raw, and unvarnished. Stop trying to be someone and start trying to be real. The world has enough actors. It needs a human. Quote 5. Stand out of my sunlight. Diogenes. When Alexander the Great offered to grant Diogenes any wish, this was his only request. It is the ultimate statement of self-sovereignty. The world's greats, the celebrities, the billionaires, the influencers, cannot give you anything of actual value. All they can do is block the light that has already fallen on you. Reclaim your space. You don't need their favors. You just need them to move. Quote 6. Dogs and philosophers do the greatest good and get the fewest rewards. Diogenes. A dog doesn't bark for a paycheck. It barks because it sees a stranger. The cynic tells the truth because it is his nature, not because it's profitable. If you are waiting for a reward for your integrity, you are still playing the crowd's game. The reward of the heretic is the integrity itself. You don't need a medal when you have a clear conscience. Quote 7. Blush is the color of virtue. Diogenes. In a shameless society, the ability to feel shame at one's own shortcomings is a superpower. But do not confuse this with social embarrassment. The cynic blushes when he fails his own standards, not when he fails society's. When you stop caring about social embarrassment, you become unshakable. The only opinion that should make you blush is the one you see in the mirror. Quote 8. It is the privilege of the gods to want nothing, and of godlike men to want little. Diogenes' desire is a leash. Every time you want something from the world, you give the world permission to pull you. The cynic seeks to become godlike by severing the leashes. When you want nothing, you are the most powerful person in the room because you cannot be bribed, threatened, or seduced. Quote 9. The sun too shines into cesspools and is not polluted. Diogenes' people fear cancellation because they fear being associated with the wrong things. They are afraid the world's dirt will rub off on them. But if your truth is like the sun, you can walk through the darkest parts of society and remain pure. You don't need to hide from the world. You just need to be bright enough that the world cannot change your frequency. Quote 10. Discourse on virtue, and they pass by in droves, whistle and dance, and you have an audience. Diogenes, the crowd is naturally drawn to the trivial and the shallow. If you want to be popular, be vapid. But if you want to be a heretic, accept the silence. Do not judge your worth by the size of your audience. The cynic knows that a crowd is usually a sign that something is wrong. Truth is a solo journey. Quote 11. Wise leaders generally have wise counselors because it takes a wise man itself to distinguish them. Diogenes, stop taking advice from people who are just as trapped as you are. Most experts are just people who have mastered the rules of the cage. A heretic seeks out the voices that sound like a threat to the status quo. If everyone agrees with your mentor isn't teaching you how to be free. They are teaching you how to be a better slave. Quote 12. The vine bears 3 kinds of grapes, the first of pleasure, the second of intoxication, the third of disgust. Anacharsis, cynic influence. Everything the world offers you follows this cycle. The like, the thrill, the purchase, It feels good, then it numbs you, then it leaves you feeling sick. The cynic skips the vine entirely. By refusing to chase the pleasure, you avoid the intoxication and the eventual disgust. True peace is found in sobriety of the soul. Quote 13. Other dogs bite their enemies. I bite my friends to save them. Diogenes, a heretic's honesty can feel like a bite. It's sharp, it's sudden, and it leaves a mark. But the cynic bites because he sees his friends sleepwalking through a fake life. If you have friends who only tell you what you want to hear, you have enemies. A true friend is the one who is willing to be hated for telling you the truth. Quote 14. Why not whip the teacher when the pupil misbehaves? Diogenes, we are the products of our environment until we decide not to be. We blame ourselves for our anxieties and our failures, but we forget that we were taught to be this way by a broken culture. The heretic stops punishing himself and starts questioning the teachers. Once you see the flaws in the system, you stop letting the system define your failure. Quote 15. I am a hound of the sort that all men praise, but no one has the courage to go hunting with. Diogenes' people love the idea of a rebel. They watch movies about them and buy shirts with their faces on them, but they don't want to be them. Being a heretic is lonely because it requires a level of courage that most people simply don't have. They will praise your authenticity from a distance, but they will never join you in the barrel. Quote 16. In a rich man's house, there is no place to spit but his face. Diogenes' success is an insult to nature. When you see someone obsessed with luxury and status, you're looking at someone who has lost their human function. The cynic has no respect for wealth that isn't earned through character. Don't be impressed by the house. Be impressed by the man. If the man is empty, the house is just a fancy coffin. Quote 17. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. Diogenes, the education you received was a manual on how to fit in. It was a training program for your mask. To be a heretic, you must begin the process of unlearning. You must scrape away the correct opinions and the socially acceptable desires to find the raw, honest human underneath. Quote 18. Nature has given men one tongue, but 2 ears, that we may hear from others twice as much as we speak. Epictetus, Cynic leanings. The heretic listens to the world, not to follow it, but to understand its lies. When you listen more than you speak, you see the contradictions in the crowd. You hear the fear behind the fake smiles. Silence allows you to observe the script before you decide to tear it up. Quote 19. I threw my cup away when I saw a child drinking from his hands at the trough. Diogenes, every tool you need is a potential shackle. The more you can do with your own bare hands and your own raw mind, the freer you are. The cynic is always looking for ways to simplify. If a child can do it without the gadget, so can you. The ultimate rebellion is being impossible to sell to. Quote 20. To be self-taught is to be truly taught. Cynic proverb. The world can give you information, but only you can give yourself wisdom. A heretic doesn't wait for a degree or a certification to tell the truth. You are the only authority on your own life. When you stop looking for external validation, you become the master of your own reality. The way of the cynic is not for everyone. It is for the person who is tired of the performance. It is for the person who would rather be a dog in the sun than a king in a cage. Being a heretic is not about being angry, it's about being honest. It's about realizing that the crowd's permission is a currency that has no value in the real world. If you are ready to stop performing and start existing, if you're ready to tell the world to get out of your sunlight, leave a comment with the words, "Citizen of the World," to show you've broken the script. Stay disciplined. Stay raw. This is Hypothetics.